Court orders arrest and imprisonment of Army Chief. Welcome to the news and thank you for tuning in to listen. A federal high court sitting in Minna, the Niger State capital, has ordered that the Chief of Army Staff, General Farouk Yahya, be arrested for contempt. Justice Halima Abdul Malik, who issued the warrant and presided over the case, said the order followed notice brought before the court in pursuant of Order 42, Road 10 of a Niger State High Court Civil Procedure 2018. The judge ruled that the order is commuting Yahya to be kept in Minna Correctional Custody for contention of order of a court on October 12, 2022, adding that the Chief of Army Staff is to remain in custody till he has been purged of the contempt. Also, the judge issued that the Commandant Training and Doctrine Command Minna, Major General Olugbenga Olabanji, be arrested and imprisoned for a similar offense. Justice Abdul Malik then adjourned the case to December 8th for continuation. The Punch have reported that on November 29th, a federal high court sitting in Abuja sentenced the Inspector General of Police IGP Osman Baba to 3 months in prison for disobeying a court order. The IGP committal followed a suit that was filed by police officer Patrick Okoli, who was unlawfully and compulsorily retired from the Nigerian police force. The court also ordered the payment of 10 million naira to the applicant, being special and general damages for the unlawful, illegal, and unconstitutional denial of his patrick rights and privileges as a senior officer of the Nigerian police force from 1993 till date. See, this is the kind of Nigeria I want to. I wish all those things are not going to come out as just news. We are actually going to see them being carried out, because that will mean the rule of law that they have exiled, that they have sent on exile in Nigeria, is coming back. That is what it means. People tend to forget, believe you me, people tend to forget that. This particular court, they forget totally that the court is part of the government. The way Buhari, what he says now is law. It's the same thing what the court says should be a standing law. People forget. Do you understand? In government, they have 3 arms of government, and each of them have the power to exist on its own. That is why what Buhari said today will be taken as a law. As in, you will see them, this thing, he said this thing, and people are going to adhere to it. Do you understand? He said there should be, should I say, there should be a curfew, and the curfew, before you know it, that day, even if it's that day, they did not give, notice. That day, the curfew will hold. The same way the legislative body, which is another arm of the government, to come and say, this bill, we have signed it into law, is a law. It will remain a bill. Do you understand? The same way the courts have the power to say, this person in this particular place, I want the person removed. It should be. People tend to forget that the judiciary arm of government remains a part of the government and also have its own powers to act, to act independently, just like other arms of government. It is going to it will be something so, should I say, refreshing to hear that these things now happens. Because, it's just like, the Chief of Army Staff. Now people come and say, why will you reprimand the Chief of Army Staff in prison? Before, is he above the law? In the same country, you saw these others as they talk calm like this. Police officers will not even wait. They don't go move the person, go prison. And they tell you, that is how it's supposed to be. And I hope we get to that point where people will now be behaving, people in offices most especially, will now be behaving because they know that they cannot hide away from the hands of the law. I sincerely hope. All right. This judiciary is beginning to fight back. Exactly. They have been dissipated for too long. Unfortunately, they are using the wrong way. This method won't work. It won't. I see a possible intervention of the judiciary in next election. They should fight back. Like I said, each arm of government, they exist to checkmate each other excesses. Which means if the executive is doing something that's, you don't overdo them. The executive has the power, yes, it has the exclusive power to come out and give some decisions. It gets the way we go use do am. It gets some things where the sitting president will say, and the court will step in, and the Senate, the legislative body will step in and say, no, guy, this one you don't pass your boundary. They are there to tell him that no, this one you don't need so much, tone it down. The same way, just like a bill want to be signed into law, and Buhari will look at it. No, this one I'm not in support of this one. No. Now don't they overstep in the boundaries too. Do you understand? The same way the court too, they will tell the court, this one too, this one no go work. Do you understand? That is their job. Not for the judiciary to be a tool in the hands of the executive. Not for the legislative to be a tool just like we are having it today. We are having it now. EFCC chair, contempt. Police boss, contempt. Army boss, contempt. Who go arrest them? Ask me now. Okay, aren't the judicial ashamed of all this ineffective judgment they are passing up and down? The other day it was the EFCC chairman, then the police IG, now the army chief. They ought to be ashamed of it all because just like the EFCC chairman, the same judge will later reverse himself on the judgment. Okay, but in saner countries, all these things, as in the talk, let's say, it is happening. Why? There's no preferential treatment. In fact, as the year for your house, if you are you go use your hand, prepare. No, see, as they open the door, they are coming to take you away. That is how it happens in sane countries. Okay. It was first the Inspector General of Police convicted the prison then for contempt last week, and the army chief going through the same treatment. For God's sake, what is happening with Nigeria? Well, you get what they do now. Alright, Nigerian cruise. The judge passing down this judgment cannot, without honesty, be involved in the arrest of the chief of army staff. And the police that's supposed to carry out such arrest, I bet you no one wouldn't allow him or herself to come close to the chief of army staff. That is why it is so important the president respect the rule of law. Exactly. In such cases when courts of competent jurisdiction pass down verdicts. All this is happening because Nigerians have started with authorities. Okay, with president that do not respect our constituted authorities. Very correct. Because if he does, his subordinates will not do otherwise. They too will respect the law of the land. But since Buhari is not respecting any law verdict, how can his subordinate do so? Exactly. This is a very good example of the leader leads by example. If you want the people to do something, or those in power with you to do something, those who are, giving you advice, you should be the first person to do what? To show it. Do you understand? Anything that looks negative is what gives joy to some people. There are legal procedures which is in line with judiciary, but when we begin to blame Buhari for not forcing all his chief security officers to be clamped into prison, it's absurd. EFCC, Chief of Army Staff, IGP, just add the remaining three and the nation would be without security. Flaunting of court order is not justifiable in any democratic society. Very correct. As a leader must show a good example to the governed so that we may have a disciplined society. And they should know that it is because these people, if these people that are in positions of power do not even respect court orders, do you know, before you know it, it is not going to be long that the judiciary will be ridiculed. Imagine a third arm of the government being ridiculed.